Well, ANC Magashule will have some explaining to do at the ANC's National Working Committee meeting if reports are true.
Well, according to the Sunday Times, the ANC Secretary General has been asked to clarify a recent meeting with former President Jacob Zuma.
Magashule has admitted to the meeting but denies it being part of a plot to oust the President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Well, Spokesperson Pule Mabe joins us now this morning. Pule, very good morning to you. Will this be something that you're going to be discussing at your meeting today?
Well, morning and morning to your viewers. We have gotten used to the idea of starting very early. Well, just to clarify, this is a regular National Working Committee meeting. It would have set on the 10th of September, which was last week. It did not sit because normally this meeting sit at Lituli House. But you would remember what happened. There was the fire at the Lisbon Bank building. That is just closer to the Lituli House precinct. That would have affected traffic there. But also
that whole area was cordoned off.
Yes, that whole area was cordoned off. So the meeting would have set. But also, when we finished our special NEC in Cape Town on the 30th of August, we were then instructed by the special NEC to conclude the appointment of the PTT of the Northwest. You would remember that we only came out of that meeting with the appointment of only the convener, meaning that one of the things that the NWC would have to finalize is the composition of the provincial task team of the Northwest. So now the issues that we are talking about are actually current affairs, if you like. Now, what doesn't actually happen is the media doesn't necessarily set the agenda for the NWC, because the NWC is the structure of the ANC that exists as per its constitution. If there are issues that out of what has been in the public gets to be discussed, and there are certain views that the NWC feels strongly that need to be conveyed out in the public, it will certainly do so. But this, in terms of this being a meeting of the ANC, it's a standard meeting of the ANC. So one, we could not sit after Cape Town, because you'd remember that there was that Forum for Africa, China summit in China, which the president of the ANC, in his capacity as the president of the state, had to attend. So, and it was on the 3rd and the 4th of September.
So this is not something you will discuss today?
Well, what I'm trying to say to you is that normally what we do is we always convey to the media the outcomes of the NWC.
Okay.
What we have never done as Petra, we have never gone out and said, on the agenda of the NWC today are the following issues. We are only reflecting on the one of the PTT because we've already conveyed it. When we did a press statement, we did say this matter will be discussed by the...
Okay, Pule. So thanks for clarifying. It's a regular NWC meeting.
Yes.
And it sets its own agenda in terms of the constitution. We understand.
Yes.
But in the interim, since the 10th, there's been this big story around the Secretary General of the ANC and other members of the ANC meeting the former President Jacob Zuma.
Yes.
Will it be something that would come up? Because there was an allegation that, as reported in the Sunday Times, that they were meeting to oust the president of the ANC. Subsequently, Mr. Magashule on this channel, speaking to our colleague Vuyo Mvogo, said no, there's nothing like that. Surely that would be something that's concerning to the leadership of the ANC.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say to you is that I can't, as a national spokesperson of the ANC, without a full knowledge of the agenda, because the agenda of a meeting gets to be discussed when the meeting starts. So you know that one of the standing issues that you must finalize is the Northwest issue. So when you finish an NWC, if there are issues that have been discussed which require you to convey their outcomes out in the public, we do so. You'd remember that the last NWC, it was the Deputy Secretary General who came out to outline decisions of the NWC. Actually, we don't just do it to the media. We also release something called the NWC Bulletin, where we reflect on decisions of the NWC now to our membership.
Okay, regardless of what happens today, Pule, do you need ANC Magashule to explain himself? What do you need to know? What does the party need to know from him about this meeting?
Well, look, the party, as matters stand now, is seized with quite a number of issues, one of them being elections. You'd know that we are preparing, amongst others, list conferences across provinces. There has been cadres assemblies happening in various provinces, in the Eastern Cape, here in Gauteng. There has been workshops of our own branches to prepare them for that process. The Secretary General of the ANC has been in Limpopo as well, addressing the Winnie Madikizela Mandela Memorial Lectures. You'd also know that this is not just, while this is a heritage month, but this is also the birthday month for Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela. It's effectively the first month of her not being around because she passed on this year. You know, so these issues, especially your current affairs issues, if those issues do arise, they are not necessarily arising because the media would have set the agenda for the ANC.
Not at this meeting. I'm not asking about at this meeting or today, whether you want to hear from, but in general, you want an answer from him. The party wants to know from him, what were you there for? Why were you having this meeting? Whether it's today or tomorrow or Wednesday? Well,
I do not think that we make such dictates as an organization. I mean, it would be...
Is it not worrying the party?
It would be... I think the worrying or not being worried of the party, it matters that when the organization meet formally as a structure, would be able to reflect. What I can tell you is that the ANC is quite focused on the process of unity and renewal. I mean, you know, the unity of the ANC is quite sacrosanct. It's something that we protect.
The unity is sacrosanct, as you say, I mean, there would be concern. You're also a member of the ANC.
Yes.
You're not just a spokesperson.
Yes.
You're a senior executive of the ANC.
Yes.
There will be concerns about such reports.
Yes. Hence, I'm saying to you that where there are issues of, where there are current affairs issues which have got a bearing on the ongoing operations of the organization, well, of course, they will belong to a specific province of those executive structures. So what I'm saying is that the ANC has got capacity to reflect on any other issue that it deems necessary and be able to make its own determination on the kind of a way forward that it deems fit.
But Magashule is not a provincial official. He's a national secretary general.
Yes.
So at the national level, you should surely be at least inquiring.
Yes.
What was that meeting about in that hotel?
No. When I'm saying, I'm not using the word province from a geographic context. I'm using province in the context of a forum. Okay. So I'm saying the executive committee, the NEC, has got the authority and full right to dispense with whatever issue that it deems fit and necessary.
So this issue is not closed for you. Obviously, you still have questions.
Well, I don't think that we should open or close the issue here in this way. All I'm trying to say is that it doesn't. These issues don't belong here. You know, they don't belong here in the sense that...
Here? What do you mean?
I mean that they don't necessarily belong... The setting up of the agenda of the NEC and NWC is not something that we do out in the media.
No, not even that. We were talking about the party in general, I think, that you were at some point want to hear from him.
Yes,
and are you creating a forum for that to happen?
What I'm saying, when I'm saying it doesn't belong here, I am saying that when the NEC, when the NWC meet and the NEC meet, if there are issues that would have arisen in the public which members feel that they might want to dispense with, it is well within their right to make that determination.
So if somebody stood up in the meeting today
of
the NWC, a senior executive of the ANC, and said, listen, I'm concerned about what has come up in the media, as you say. You're telling us we don't set the agenda as a media, you set the agenda, that's cool. But then if they came up and raised it, you think they need to be open for discussion?
Well, I'm sure that if issues are raised and clarity is sought, in that meeting determinations would be made on how such matters would be addressed. What I do not want to do, by the way, is I don't want, as a national spokesperson of the ANC, to sit here and preempt for members of the National Working Committee what they can and cannot discuss. I do not have that mandate. The mandate I've got is to at least place on record that a National Working Committee is sitting, and further place on record that this National Working Committee that is sitting is a regular one. But further place on record again that there are issues that are outstanding, including the finalization of the PTT of the Northwest, which this National Working Committee has got to finalize. So this is not a
priority at the moment, is what you're saying?
I'm not saying that it is a priority or not a priority. I am saying that I am unable to say to you that these are the issues that,
I think you've been very clear. We've been going around in circles, but the key question, I guess, would ask is the party, as it stands today, concerned that there might be, as reported, with those claims that there might be a plot to oust Cyril Ramaphosa as president?
Well, I can tell you now, and with our own interaction with structures, the notion of a plot doesn't exist and can't even be allowed to exist. Coming out of the Nasrec conference, the focus is on the unity and renewal of the organization. Actually, through the Tuma, if you see, as expressed through the Tuma Mina program, we have all been working in unison. There's no, I wouldn't say that there's a grouping that support this notion or a grouping that support that notion. All those things were done, dusted, and buried at Nasrec. Our focus now, and this has also been the statement that the Secretary General, in his own words, has conveyed in the Mail and Guardian when he spoke to Vuyo Mvogo as well, that the focus of the ANC now is the unity and renewal of the movement. And that is the message that we are carrying to our structures throughout the country.
Okay, just to finalize, is it a one-day meeting today of the NWC, or could it run over? When should we expect that feedback that you said we will get or the outcomes? Of
yes, okay, it happens, it's twofold. The meeting is it's a one-day meeting. Now, there could be those. What normally happens is, if there are those things that come out of the if there are those issues that come out of the NWC, which the NWC takes a view that they require communicating out there without having to go into the NEC, those issues are conveyed. But if there are issues, for instance, where you feel that, but before I could convey these issues, I also need concurrence of the National Executive Committee, you would then be able to only communicate those once the NEC has set, which only sit by the end of the month of September.
Okay, Pule, thank you very much for your time.
Good luck
clarifying
with the meeting today. Whatever happens.
Hopefully some current affairs will be on the agenda.